Hello and welcome to the next video review for The Wind and the Willows. This is for another of my all-time favourites, Lord Toad. And Lord Toad is from Series 4, and this one will actually round up spring. We would now be through all the spring episodes. So let's dive straight into it. So if you want to sync it up with me, I'm going to press play right now. There we go. So Lord Toad, like I say, this one I remember very well from childhood, kind of later years in terms of, when it was first shown. I don't remember it on TV, but I remember it from the video that I got, which was actually called Lord Toad. There you go. I'll show you actually. Where is it? Right up here. It was this video, and it was a range of videos that only lasted, well, there are only two in this kind of packaging. Quite lovely, unusual packaging. Came out in 1992, and this video featured Lord Toad, Hall for Sale, and Toad's Harvest, all of which have become firm favourites of mine. Wonderful episodes, all from Series 4, and in many ways I do regard Series 4 as kind of the pinnacle of the series. Everything was so superb by this point. The animation, the whole look of it, the scripts were witty, and another aspect I love about Series 4 is that you had this railway problem that ran through the whole series, so there's that continuity there. So I've touched on it a bit before, but basically you've got this threat from the human world of a railway being built, and the threat is that it's going to go through the riverbank and Wildwood, obviously threatening all the creatures' homes. So it's very in keeping with the times. If you think back to Edwardian England, it's how industry was changing, and stepping out of that more innocent era, you could say, of Victorian England, and technology changing and everything. So, and that's in many ways why the Edwardian period is regarded as kind of a golden period in English history. So we dive straight in here with Badgerati Mole discussing the railway, and Toad, I'll just turn it up a bit. Toad is obviously not really in on the conversation. He's got other kind of other ideas. Lovely animation of Toad here. Watch this, the way he eats his biscuits, and this touch here. Beautiful. That soggy biscuit was dropping back in. That's actually happened to me in real life. Probably to you as well. So there's this really serious conversation going on. Badger's talking about a lord. He mentions a lord, Lord Rushton, and he's a famous archaeologist. So Toad's already interested in the archaeology bit, not, well, the lord bit. He's thinking, oh, lord. So obviously they're very concerned. I mean, this point it's the May episode of Series 4, so we're almost halfway through the series, and it's bang in the middle is where it really is a big threat. It's becoming serious. And so Badger's trying to get Toad understanding what it all means, and you've got this wonderful distraction. So you've got this lovely, I love this scene. I've showed it to my students many times because you've got this wonderful juxtaposition of the three characters taking things really seriously in terms of the railway, and then you've got Toad, who's totally obsessed with other things, with this archaeology side of things, and here says it all. Who's the boring old railway? He comes across as a really nasty, horrible character in this one, more so than many others. I mean, I have reviewed the tournament, which has a similar setup, but this one in particular he's totally self-obsessed, self-absorbed, prize fathead, as Ratty calls him. So here we are, Toad in his library, and the library we do see more often than any other series in Series 4. It's a lovely big set when you see that wide shot just then, and the lighting is very cosy, really. Got that lovely glow of the lamp there, and the other light there on the podium, isn't it? And you've got the music called silent comedy, the incidental music in the background. It's very Toad-like, very very much suggesting that there's a new craze now. Toad's now obsessed of becoming a lord, Lord Toad.
Yes, Your Majesty.
And I recently reviewed Mayday from Series 2, where the term Lord Toad was brought up for the first time, so it's not it has been brought up before. And it's funny, Lord Toad does sound ridiculous, but you can almost imagine it as well. Lord Toad. So Ratty here is getting very irritated with Toad. Mole's very understanding.
Yes, I know, Ratty.
So,
Why doesn't he know it too?
So it's very human. It's.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I spoke to
Where are we going, Rat?
some of my colleagues, friends about this fairly recently, and they all say, Toad's the one you really want to watch. That as a child, if you're watching this as a child, you're waiting for Toad in every scene. Ratty, Mole, and Badger, on reflection, a little bit boring in comparison, but I think it's sophisticated. When you watch it, certainly as an adult, looking at how these characters take things so seriously. And it's not that they don't want to have fun, it's just that there is a very serious threat that's true to life. We have that in real life. So I think in terms of children watching this, it teaches them an awful lot. You've got, on one hand, you've got Toad providing all the fun, the comic relief, the joys of life, if you like, and then you've got the dark side of life reflected through the other characters. And I think it's beautifully balanced. I really do. It just grounds it all. It kind of, it sets the whole series in this real world, if you like.
What do you mean? You haven't come?
And yes, like I say, Toad rarely comes across more nasty than this. But look at that animation, though. Isn't that beautiful? Just laughing away. He's just the eyes again. He's looking at thinking, "Oh, awfully sorry." And that's not the only time in this episode that Toad repeats what Mole says. In this way David Jason delivers it, Mole saying, "I'm awfully sorry, Toad," and Toad just delivers the awfully sorry as if it's just such a ridiculous thing to say. But it's the kind of thing Mole would say, awfully sorry. And Toad's wonderful costume there, his outfit, that exists today, thankfully, that is in the archive. That animation where he's folding his arms and he turns his back to them. And every pose that Toad goes into, apart from that one, you see he's got weight on one foot. It's all, it's the way I teach animation as well. If you're going to have a pose, when you pose a character, you're going to want the weight to be on one foot. You can see with every pose that he's got, there's always one foot lifted off the ground. Occasionally both are grounded. That would have been some wire work there to get Toad to fall down the hole. Some great lines here as well. Was on the brink, as Ratty says.
I think he's just discovered the law of gravity.
The law of gravity.
Very funny. Very funny indeed.
Are you saying, Mole, that
we
we
are
all
in
had
Badger?
this ridiculous invitation?
I think so, Badger.
Such nonsense.
So what's nice is I like the way this episode is constructed. You've got a lot of you've just got these key scenes really. You've got a lot that would have been unnecessary to have had in it. We don't need to see more than that between Ratty and Mole visiting Toad to Badger. We've got this. Toad's already inviting his friends to this exhibition of what he's found, and he hasn't found anything yet, as we're about to see in the next scene. And he's inviting royalty, inviting the king, which would have, of course, been King Edward.
And he's opening a museum in the presence of royalty. I suppose we'd better go.
Museum.
I wonder what he thinks he's found.
And now we cut very appropriately, lovely. I wonder what he thinks he's found, and we cut straight to Toad answering. Now we've got this set here that I assume would have been probably reuse of the tunnels that were used in the film when they were going to get into the secret passage through to Toad Hall. And beautifully lit actually, because it's obviously a very dark set. You've just got that glow on Toad, so they had to very carefully look at where the animation would take place and not light the set too much. And of course we've got trouble now with the weasels. I love that. So the chief won't go anywhere until he knows it's safe, and he obviously gets the henchman to check it out first. Lovely animation of him digging away there. And
Well, it's just not jolly well fair.
now this is a wonderful scene.
There must be something. There's got to be something. Palpitations. Oh, jolly nearly gave me a fright then. Right, Mr.
I like that. Nearly gave him a fright. No, it very definitely gave him a fright. And we got the continuing joke of the leg, the henchman's leg here.
He's an idiot. With a sore shin.
With a sore shin. Now, obviously, the chief always picks on the henchman in that way, blaming his leg, oh, his leg hurts, that's why he keeps going out. And that runs through the whole series, really. Wonderful.
This is not a fool. Oh, no. No, it is a...
So, David Chase not pronouncing the H.
We are now standing in an ancient Anglo-Saxon burial chamber.
So Toad acting like he knows what he's talking about.
Oh, yes. My archaeological excavation has uncovered this storehouse of long-buried treasures from the ancient world. Oh, very nice, very nice.
Lovely. Beautiful.
Where are they, Mr. Toad?
But now Toad's very honest. He can't find...
And double drap, I can't find the stupid thing. Oh, dearie me. And the museum...
I love that line. Oh, dearie me. One of my favourite lines. So simple. The comedy is fantastic in this one. It really is funny. So we already know, just by the... It's like a xylophone glockenspiel, whatever it is, in the back of that kind of weasel, short weasel theme. I'm doing that because it's like a glockenspiel being hit. But whenever you hear that, you know the weasels are up to no good. And you can particularly hear it in Series 4 through various episodes. And that other one, did that I guess it is a xylophone. That suggests that something's been realised, and it's usually to do with Toad. Now the timing of this this kick that the henchman receives.
It looks to me like
Lovely circular animation as well, of him tumbling there. And of course you've got Paul Berry on this, the great Paul Berry. Jackie Cockle directing. It's one of Jackie Cockle's very best, I think. And the contrast, look at the contrast, the animation between the Chief and Toad here. Toad sort of listening away, very little movements, the Chief's a bit more animated. More quick and sudden movement. You look at the animation, the henchman there sort of bringing himself up again, looking at his leg. Lovely touches here. For some reason the Chief just says that's enough laughing. So that's kind of a running joke in this series as well, where the henchman laughs too much.
Yes, of course.
So it's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, the fact that the weasels are going to find things for Toad. All Toad cares about is being Lord Toad. He doesn't care about credibility. He doesn't care about achieving that status honestly. He just cares about being Lord Toad. He's such a cheat, isn't he? There we go, there's the dark deed taking place there. There we go, Toad Hall Museum of Archaeology. And now the weasels have got this ladder, and you think, well, in the previous episode, Toad Astronomer that I've reviewed already, they were interested in ladders. And it's a lovely setup that Toad's got, to be fair. He's got, some other exhibits on display there, so he's provided things for... Badger obviously looks interesting. Have a look at them.
Oh, Your Majesty, forgive me, they've stolen my ladder.
Toad, what
effer's the matter, Toad?
Toad, are you all right?
And we know already, it's just Ratty Mole and Badger are there. King Edward's in there.
I can guess who.
They don't tell me His Majesty's had to go.
What are you talking about, Toad?
What am I talking about? The King, I invited him.
Oh, this is lovely.
He's left, has he?
He can't have done, Toad,
Oh, thank goodness for that.
because he never arrived.
Look at that kind of open mouth and that pause and then that realisation. So it's that contrast again of that quick movement and then the realisation. And the eyes as well, the double blink,
But I
sort of
can't
taking
make
it
a
in.
speech if I haven't got my notes.
Precisely, as Badger.
Your
Never mind your notes. And then eyes again, wide. I mean, I'll go on about Toad's eyes. I just love them so much.
Oh, don't touch it! Don't! Oh, that's the opening bit for the
Look at Mole's pose as well. Beautiful.
Well, for
It's-
heaven's sake, open it, Toad.
All right, all
Now this
right.
scene now, I think, is one of the best in the whole series. I really do. The way it's constructed, the way the humour builds. Toad just making an absolute fool of himself and the others mocking him. I think it's just beautifully done.
What's the
But we're totally with the others. You know, we know Toad's an idiot, but it's that lovely balance of, you know, we're still kind of on his side. We still like him because we laugh at him. He's a delightful character, and we know deep down he's a nice guy. That's the thing.
That's it, look.
I'm sorry, Toad.
So from here now, the way
Glad you think so.
What is all this rubbish, Toad?
this rubbish.
Rubbish.
David Jason probably came up with that overpronunciation of the R.
These are the priceless objects. Hello, my
So it's the pacing I admire,
What are they,
not
Toad?
just in the script, but in the way the dialogue's delivered. Remember, these actors were very used to working with each other now. They knew each other very well. They knew each other's characters inside out.
Held in the bosom of the earth.
So the timing here,
Century upon century.
Plant pot.
Perhaps the drinking cup of emperors. Perhaps the plant pot.
Plant pot.
oh, God.
It's a few bits of broken plant pot.
It's nothing of the sort.
Badger, are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. There's the drain hole in the bottom.
Oh, yes.
Turning to our next precious find, we
So
come to
Toad
a
quickly dismisses it, moves on.
Now imagine the marauders in boot thrust through as he urged his steed to battle.
Lovely.
I say, Toad.
Mole, please.
Well, I'm awfully sorry, but that looks
Awfully
like the
sorry
rusty
again.
broken
It's one of Mole's
hole
classic
that was on the
expressions.
compost heap at the bottom of your garden.
By Jove, Moley, you're right.
It's nothing like a rusty hole.
It's exactly like a rusty hole.
And like all these scenes, Badger, Ratty, Mole have equal. They share the dialogue equally. So that's beautifully done in the script. You know, they all have brilliant one-liners.
What? Coronation Centre of an
We go to them
Egyptian
equally.
pharaoh, that's what this is.
What was an Egyptian,
An Egyptian
pharaoh doing
pharaoh.
round here, Toad?
Ah, yes. Now I wondered that, but the weasel. I
So he's already hinted the weasel. Clears his throat. Hopefully they didn't notice.
Kidnapped by the Viking who
I
rode
love
the
this.
horse with his foot in.
In the garden
Oh my
hole.
God, no. Sorry, it's so difficult to comment because I love the pacing of this script.
Before the Vikings were here.
Yeah. Oh.
Perhaps
Well,
he's a very
perhaps
old.
He was a very old pharaoh.
Now this is my favourite bit.
Dear.
What do you mean?
Oh, dear. It's an
So-
excellent tool.
Like the way Toad repeated what Mole said before.
It is.
What do you mean, oh dear, like that? And the way, not just the way he says it,
You used to have
the way the
them
animator then
on the
interprets it by doing the oh dear, side to side like that. It's just overemphasising the fact that Toad's so irritated by the way Mole has said, oh dear. What do you mean, oh dear? You know, so it's emphasising it, it's taking the way the dialogue's delivered further. Wonderful. And you think, like any series, script, animation, script, voice record, and then animation. And each stage of the way, everything is enhanced that much more.
My word.
Now, this is an
Now, that
interesting
does look like the real thing.
shot coming up in a moment of Toad, because it's a very long one.
I don't know to find
You could argue possibly a little bit long-winded,
left our shores 1,000
but Toad
years
is now
or so
about to
before the
explain.
year 1300.
That's what everybody thought.
Badger has laid the facts down about how Romans left our shores so many years ago, but so this is the shot here. Toad, it's a very long shot of Toad explaining, kind of to us, the audience, I guess, so that we, child audience, if you like, understand what he's talking about. And he's actually, Toad's right in the sense that he's got the Roman numerals right, and he's got the year.
1300. Easy.
My word, yes.
So Mole already believes he's got a
In no time.
real discovery, and that had to be Mole, of course. Mole would be believing it, if you like. Ratty's almost believing it, we kind of get from this, but Badger, we already know.
Hampton Council Cleansing
So
Department.
Badger knows the truth.
Micklehampton.
I've seen those initials on other dustbin lids.
So it's just the dustbin lid.
A dustbin lid.
And this music, by the way, is nice and jolly. It's called Snakes and Ladders in the background.
All those weasels.
Weasel.
There we go. He's revealed it. And this timing here as well.
I see.
Looks back and the pause, and then the realisation. He's disgusted with himself almost. Oh, he's giving it away. He's so irritated. Running a lovely final shot.
They got my ladder.
So he hinted before at the beginning of the episode, oh, someone's stolen my ladder, and he knows it's the weasels, and he's saying, oh, they got my ladder. So yeah, so it's hard to talk through that because there's so many wonderful one-liners. Such a great script. One of Brian Truman's best scripts, I think. So yeah, I love that one. Like I say, the first time I saw that was on this video, and I remember it very well. A nice moment I shared with my brother actually. We both. It was a day, well, obviously in the early 90s, where we both, my parents said, "Oh, we can both have a Wind in the Willows video," and both my brother and I were into Wind in the Willows. We loved it. So I chose this one, and he chose. It's there somewhere, the Happy Birthday one, which was a WH Smith exclusive. And I remember we were both excited. We were looking at them, and my mum was going shopping in Tesco, and we kept looking at videos. Oh, I can't wait to see these episodes. Oh, the memories. So yeah, quite a treasure this video is. Yeah, and like I say, we'll get to these other episodes in due course. Hall for Sale is a summer episode, and Toad's Harvest is an autumn episode. So there we go, that's Lord Toad, and that, like I say, does round up spring. I've now done all episodes for spring, and the next one is kind of a spring. It is a summer episode, but it's kind of at the back end of spring, so it's cheating a little bit, and it's Toad Photographer from Series 2. And the reason it's in the summer section is because it is actually featured on the Summer Escapades video. It's the first episode on there. And I remember the way the narrator introduces it, they say it had been a glorious spring day, but he also says the year had turned the way to summer, or something like that. Turned the corner towards summer. So it's a wonderful way to kind of bridge, spring and summer together. And we'll only just be into summer, really. If you think of June as summer, I'll be reviewing it next Sunday, and we'll just be into June. So there we go. That rounds up spring, and thank you very much for the continued support. And the continued comments. Sorry if I haven't replied to all comments yet. I will do as soon as I can, but keep them coming, and thank you very much, and I will see you next Sunday for Toad Photographer. Yes, I have got that right. Just double checking. Thanks very much. Enjoy the good weather, because it is lovely and warm now. Hopefully it is where you are, and see you next Sunday. Cheerio.